There it is, resume recording.
Yes.
Okay. So welcome everybody to our last trivia of 2021. And we've been putting this on the Seniors Resource Center through our Seniors Center Without Walls pilot program funded by the United Way. And our quiz master, Andrew Spray, has been compiling all of the questions and answers. And Andrew's a longtime Machosenite who was a professor at Pearson College for many years and now is very involved in, is it St. Mary's Church, Andrew?
That's correct. Yeah.
And an amazing knowledge of history of Machosen and BC and beyond. So Andrew, I am going to take control over the PowerPoint and I'll let you start the quiz. And I think because we have a few new people, it's by the honor system. You write down your answers. There's 20 questions. We'll have a little break after 10. And then afterwards, Andrew will go through all the answers and then you will tally up how many you got correct. And the people with the most correct answers, the two people with the most correct answers will get prizes at the end. I think that's kind of it in a nutshell. Is anything to add, Andrew?
I just would mention that when it comes to checking the answers, it is possible there will be an answer, the official answer there, but if it's close, then we may find ways of giving some credit. All right. So we'll start with question 1, which, there we are. So what is the name of the area near Abbotsford where in mid-November many farms were flooded by dike failure and many animals died as a result? Okay, second question. What BC interior city of population 7,200 had to be almost completely evacuated recently following flooding from the Coldwater River? Okay, question 3. At what time and at what date did Pacific Daylight Time most recently change to Pacific Standard Time? All right, question 4. Give the number, that's the actual highway number, of 3 of the 6 provincial highways which recently had partial closure as a result of significant damage from mudslides or flooding. You don't have to have all 6. Okay, question 5. What part of Washington state is it impossible for American residents to enter by car without traveling through BC? Ready for question 6? At the first meeting of Machosen Council following incorporation, the mayor was Herman Volk, and 2 of the 4 councillors were Brian Killip and Noel Pemberton Billing. Name either one of the other 2 councillors. Okay, on to question 7. In the last municipal election for Machosen, 2 new members were elected to council. Name one of them. All right, question 8. What is the name of the Machosen fire chief? On to question 9. If you turn off Souk Road onto Happy Valley Road at the traffic light near Glen Lake Road, at how many stop signs would you have to stop up to Happy Valley Road's intersection with Machosen Road? That includes the stop sign of Chosen Road.
Andrew,
Mhm.
traffic lights are not to be confused with walk, stop, walk things for schools.
It was strictly speaking stop signs after
Okay,
getting onto Happy Valley Road.
okay.
Good question. Question 10. What family preceded the Jenkins family as operators of Machosen store? So that's the end of the first 10 questions. So we have a short break here. I'll turn it back to Lori on this.
Yeah, I thought I'd just let you know about some upcoming events in December. We have our senior socials are now moved to Fridays at the Machosen Community House, and they're from 1 to 3. And in December, we'll have one tomorrow on the 10th, and then on the 17th, we'll be closed over the holidays and then resuming back in January. And the Machosen Arts and Culture Center, where the Seniors Resource Center is housed, is having an open house this Saturday from 12 to 3, and all of the studios will be open to the public. So it'll be a nice social event, and hope you can come out. And then next Tuesday, the Young Agrarians are putting on a presentation on the BC land matching program, and that's on Zoom at 3 p.m. And all of that information is on our website, machosenseniors.ca. And I think that's it. Andrew, do you have any announcements?
I don't think I've got any announcements right now, but maybe when we've gone through the answers to the questions at the end, maybe we can have maybe a bit of feedback on on this kind of event.
Great idea. Sounds good. Okay,
So,
well,
on to question 11. If you were not connected to Greater Victoria Water District water, what was the name of the person residing in the 4500 block of Rocky Point Road who delivered water to residents on wells in Machosen when their well was running low?
How many years back are we going?
Well,
20?
15 to 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I'll just throw in a hint because I talked to him today. So he's still on the 4500 block of Rocky Point Road and is almost 90 years old.
I was gonna say, I wasn't sure if he was dead or not by now.
No, he's not. He's
All right, so it's good you've had a few more clues to this answer. On to number 12. This is a little tricky. With its development over 20 years ago, the name of the mountain on which the development took place changed to Bear Mountain from the name that appears on government maps. That mountain has a smaller peak that was identified by the same name with the word mini in front of it. What was the original name of the mountain and still is the official name? Okay, number 13. If one continues past Home Depot, that's near Costco, the main road north becomes Millstream Road and soon passes a large development which has existed for many years and which can be very noisy at times. It is in the process of being largely dismantled. What is the present name of this development? Okay, on to 14. How, during the closure of parts of the Malahat Highway resulting from flood damage north of Goldstream Park, was some traffic able to get from Duncan to Victoria? All right, question 15. Including Sunday, November 14th and Monday, November 15th, the total Victoria rainfall, according to records, was closest to which of the following amounts? So if you prefer to answer in inches, the answer could be 3, 5, 7, or 10. If you want to answer in centimeters, it would be 8, 13, 18, or 25. Question 16. Resthaven Drive in Sydney terminates at a small peninsula, which over 40 years ago contained a facility largely managed by a religious order. What was the nature of that facility? This may be the toughest question of all.
The Benedictine monks and the Maid Drambuie.
All right, question 17. What beach near Parksville is well known for its annual Sandcastle building competition? All right, question 18. What is the name of the island located off the east coast of Vancouver Island near Port Hardy, where a First Nation residential school was run by the Anglican Church? I'd add that an acceptable answer is either the name of the island or the location on that island of the residential school. On to question 19. What is the name of the new Canadian Governor General? And last question, also moving beyond BC. What is the name of the present Premier of Alberta, who has been or had been under much criticism from many Albertans for relaxing pandemic restrictions too soon, resulting in many COVID-19 patients in Alberta hospitals, many of the patients in intensive care units, leaving little or no room for patients requiring urgent treatment for other life-threatening ailments? Okay, so that's the 20 questions. Just before we move on to the answers, has anybody been thinking for a while and realized they had an answer to one of the questions that they didn't think of at the time?
Can you repeat question number 9, please?
Question number 9. Yeah, if you turn off Soup Road onto Happy, all right.
What was 8? What was 8 then, Andrew, please? Sorry.
The name of the Machosen Fire Chief.
Oh, okay. I've totally screwed up anyway. All right. That's okay.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll get a chance to see the questions again as we go through the answers.
Okay.
All right. So the area near Abbotsford, where all the damage was particularly severe, was Sumas Prairie. And for those of you that don't have a lot of knowledge of the long history of the Fraser Valley, this used to be a lake and was, I think, by way of dikes and everything, converted into sort of farming area, I think, well before the Second War. Can't give an exact date.
It was 1924, I think. Wasn't it?
That was it? Okay. All right. So, and I don't think there are any alternatives for that. So, question 2. The BC interior city of population 7,200 that was flooded was Merritt. And I just add a little interesting fact is that a lot of the people from Merritt, when they evacuated, went to Kamloops, and some of them, quite a few of them, went to hotels at Sun Peaks Resort. And my oldest daughter, who works at Sun Peaks, spent a lot of time at one of the hotels at Sun Peaks, receiving a lot of those evacuees. Question 3. This is kind of specific, but if you've been through the change from daylight time to standard time, it always happens. Pardon me. It always happens at 2 a.m. in the morning, and the morning on which it happened was Sunday, November 7th. Okay. Well, just for information, Highway 1, of course, is the Trans-Canada Highway. Of course, that had a closure on Vancouver Island for a while on the Malahat, as well as the rest of its length. Highway 3 was the Hope Princeton, which is now reopened. Question 5 is the Coquihalla, which is a long way from reopening. Question 7 was the Lougheed Highway, which runs along the north side of the Fraser from Vancouver to Hope. Highway 8, I think, goes from Spence's Bridge to Merritt. And Highway 99 is the Duffy Lake Road, which I think goes from Lillooet to Squamish.
Yeah, Pemberton, I think.
Yeah, through Pemberton.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got any 3 of those listed, that's good enough for credit. Okay, question 5.
Oh, good.
That peculiar sort of result of I guess, some misguided settling of the US border with Canada when that was done, left this little bit of land, Point Roberts, very near Tawasin. Actually, part of Washington State, even though the only way of getting to it by car is by traveling through BC. Interestingly, if you take the ferry from Tawasin to Swartz Bay, much of the first half of the trip after leaving Tawasin is in US waters. Question 6. Question 6. Oh. Yeah, the other 2 initial counselors, one was Ted Stevens and the other was Jeff Hadley. And in the last municipal election, the 2 new members were Sherry Epp, a longtime resident of Machosen, and Marie-Therese Little. But I wasn't quite sure how to put the acute and grave accent on the Therese. The name of the Machosen fire chief is Stephanie Dunlop.
Alias Stephanie Longstaff, correct? Is that not her maiden name?
Oh, maybe right. I hadn't thought of that. I mean, we know, my wife and I knew Linda Longstaff very well. And I know that when she died and her husband remarried, I think they already had quite a few children, and they had a few more after that. But I confess to not knowing if this Stephanie was also a Longstaff before marriage. But if you're sure that's the case, that's
No, it's
perfect.
okay. No, it's okay. I had Dunlop down, but I thought she was a Longstaff, so not to
Oh.
worry.
Well, I'll have to check that out. I know
Well, Andrew,
Stephanie.
I believe she's American, or was American, so I don't know where the Longstaff family came from.
You know, they lived on Sioux Road
Oh, well, then I don't think she's Longstaff.
for a long time. Anyway, in fact, once you've turned onto Happy Valley Road, you won't see any stop signs until you get to Machosen Road. You'll see side roads leading to Machosen Road, including Rocky Point, but the first place you have to stop is Machosen Road. But glad you pointed out the question about the traffic light where the Galloping Goose crosses. All right, and the last of the first questions.
Huh?
Daisy and John Bly and their daughters looked after the Machosen store for a number of years before the Jenkins family took over in about 1974, something like that. So any other questions about those first 10? All right. On to 11. It sounds like from the comments at the time of the question that the name Don Stansel was known to many people, or some of you.
Yeah, he brought our water for quite a few years.
Yeah. When we first lived in Machosen, we lived just up the road from him. It's 4620 Rocky Point. Okay, number 12.
Hmm.
Okay, it's actually, if you look on government topographic maps, it's Skirt Mountain.
Yeah.
And there's a little sub-peak that's called Mini Skirt Mountain.
Cute.
Okay, and I think the next question is still in the same area. Yeah. My youngest daughter and her husband live about a mile and a half further up the road, up Millstream from Western Speedway, and they certainly hear the sounds, or are used to hearing the sounds of Western Speedway. But it's being largely dismantled as far as I understand. All right, question 14. Certainly one way of getting from Duncan to Victoria would be going on the way that was publicized during the brief time that the Malahat was completely shut down. It was taking the ferry that goes from Mill Bay to Brentwood Bay.
What about the Pacific Circle route?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I put as well.
I think
I
if you
get the
said the
Mill-
Pacific Circle route, I think that deserves a mark. All right. And if you actually said the ferry from Duke Point
Oh,
to Swartz Bay, I guess we have to give credit for that too.
I put that one down, but then I crossed it out because I think it was a pretty limited run. Didn't only 27 cars take it or something?
I don't know. I mean, I know the Brentwood to Mill Bay ferry can only take a fairly small number of cars, but the one they were operating from Duke Point to Swartz Bay can take a lot of cars.
I don't think very
Anyway.
many people actually took advantage of it, but I could be wrong.
Okay, question 15. My understanding of the figures, and it varies obviously from what part of Victoria you're in, but I think the one that I saw written down was 180 millimeters, which is 18 centimeters, that fell in that 2-day period. And nearest can be, so the nearest whole number that comes out to 7 inches. So either answer is good enough. All right.
Oh, hmm.
So there's a very strong family link with this particular question, because our oldest daughter was adopted, and we were still living in Vancouver at that time, but knowing that we were soon moving to Vancouver Island. But anyway, we received a call in early June 1975 that they had a little girl waiting for us at Rest Haven Hospital. And so we picked her up a number of days later. And so even though the hospital no longer exists, that was a very important place to us. But that's probably a tough question for anybody who hasn't been living around Greater Victoria for a substantial number of years.
Which religion, was it Catholics that were running it?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. It's probably most likely that.
Mm.
But there were Anglican nuns as well, but I don't know for sure. I do know for sure it was a place where from where a lot of children were adopted. Question 17. I hope this wasn't that tricky. Rathtrevor Beach in Parksville. And there's some amazing sandcastles built there. Though I don't think it happened this last 2 years, or maybe just 2021. But anyway, that's the beach. Question 18. The actual island, which is probably the trickier one to know, is Cormorant Island. But the school was actually at Alert Bay. And yeah. So either Cormorant Island or Alert Bay is good enough. Question 19. The name of the new Canadian Governor General is Mary Simon.
Did you get half points just for her first name? No.
If you can answer one other question, what's her ethnic background?
Oh,
Inuit.
she's an Inuit.
Okay, so we'll give you we'll give you a mark for that.
Okay.
And if
But
you
she doesn't,
answered,
she doesn't know how to speak French very well.
no, but she speaks Inuktitut quite well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you answered Julia Payette, you've missed a lot of news lately. Who I actually taught at one time.
But we'll
not
forgive you for that, Andrew.
But not at Pearson, but at Atlantic College in Wales. All right, and the last question. Probably not quite so difficult as some of the other ones recently. Jason Kenny.
I was thinking, Andrew, I was reading this, we could have just said, what was the name? What is the name of the present premier of Alberta? Question mark, and left all the rest off.
I wanted to add a little bit more of
A little bit of political
a
commentary.
little bit of stuff that was related to him lately.
I think that was absolutely appropriate. A lot of my friends are still in Calgary and a lot of them work in the hospitals still. So
Yeah.
I would agree with all of those statements.
Yeah. Okay, so
We're unmuted.
you can add up your points and see
Shore Speedway.
see where we stand.
Now, I don't know who's on the iPhone. You came late, but I think you,
Yes,
oh,
Oh,
look
it's
who's
Jane.
there.
Oh, and Brian.
Jane
Brian,
and Brian.
sorry. I tried, but we could not get on the internet here until Brian could, when you were more than halfway through. So we've been
Oh.
eavesdropping a little bit, but totally fun to hear you.
How many do you have there? There's 3 of you or so?
No, there's
No,
6.
there's 6 of us.
6. Oh, oh, that's too bad. You guys all have to do it on demand when it goes on our YouTube channel. maybe.
And we,
Oh, that's true. We're now.
Okay, how
we would have
Okay.
done really,
are we doing for totals?
I have 17. I missed 3.
Sorry, who was that?
Dale had
Oh,
17.
Dale.
I
Yeah.
missed 3 of them.
So I guess, because some people may not want to say how many they have. Did anybody
Yeah.
get all 20?
Ah,
No. What about 19 or 18? And then we have 17, Dale. Anybody else with 17? Well
I
done,
missed
Dale.
6. So I only got 14.
You got 14. Can anybody beat
Just
14?
a sec.
16.
Bob got 16.
Bob
there's
got
Jennifer.
16. Well, it sounds like it's Bob and Dale then. Well done.
Actually on it.
And then the prizes are a thrifty food card, $20, or a gift
Oh.
bag we have. So, so Dale and Bob, you can come down to the
Gotcha.
center and pick your prize. Whoever, Dale, you'll get first choice, and then Bob will get the other.
Leftovers.
So- Or I can put it in the mail to you as well if it's the gift card. Dale, whatever
Oh.
you prefer, you can call me at the center and let me know, or let me know now, whatever you
No,
prefer.
I'll do the gift card. That's perfect.
Okay. Either you can give me a call tomorrow and we'll figure out how to get it to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's tomorrow? Actually, I can, what time are you there tomorrow?
12 to 4, and we're there on Saturday too because of the open house, so. yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to be in Langford for 2 o'clock, so I will swing by about 1:30 if that's okay.
That's perfect. Look forward to
Hey,
seeing you.
Hi, Ann. Hi, Ernie.
Hi.
Hi. Nice
You
to
look
see
like you guys are
everybody.
having a lot of fun there.
Oh,
Now, is there a booby prize? We got 0.
That's not possible. that
I
you
could
got
see
0.
that, Brian.
remember the names of the counselors, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, oh, yeah, speak for yourself.
We came a bit, well, we can blame it on the internet. Only Brian could get us attached to the internet, and that was well when you were on your way here, so.
And are you at
Because
your
you're drinking
place?
Too much wine.
Are you at Jane's
It's
place?
coffee.
Aaron's birthday.
Everyone say happy birthday to Barrett.
Oh, happy
Oh,
birthday,
happy birthday,
Barrett.
Barrett.
Happy birthday.
Anyway, we won't take your time.
Anyway, sorry we missed it. We'll try next time.
Well, just to hang on a sec, because I think Andrew was gonna ask, did you have one, because this is the last one for 2021. We're not sure about going ahead next year. We still have to evaluate the whole Seniors Center Without Walls program, but if people would like us to continue on with the trivia, you can pressure Andrew to continue on.
Well, one thing, a couple of questions I'd like to ask is, first of all, we started out doing it at, I think it was at 2 p.m. on Thursdays, on the second Thursday of each month.
2 p.m.
And then sometimes we had a similar turnout to tonight. And sometimes we didn't. That's what made us try the Thursday at 7, starting, was it with October? It was with October.
Yeah, I think so. About in October, we tried evenings, Thursday,
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Yeah. But I must say, the November one we did on the 3rd Thursday because the second Thursday was Remembrance Day, and it was felt it might not be the ideal timing for the trivia that time. But the other question that I know Jane has brought up is that sort of trivia in Machosen sort of started with Jane's establishment.
All right.
Oh,
And it was done with sort of teams. Um, uh,
That's right, Andrew. Your team and my team won the very first event.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
we did.
Andrew, what is your question, Andrew? I'm not,
Well, I'm just saying, is there some, I mean, they say this is really was what Jane mentioned to me, is there some way of making this a slightly more social occasion?
So you mean like in person?
Yeah, in person.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I would say, probably as far as seniors are concerned, I know, well, Leslie and I have reached the point that we're not that keen of driving at night.
No, would want to
No.
be during the day for sure.
Yeah. But that would sort of fall outside what was happening at why can't I think of Jane's restaurant?
Glen Rosa.
Glen Rosa. That would sort of have to be a lunchtime thing or something like that. But
These guys came for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, quite often. Yeah, is that a question, Andrew?
well, it's just is I mean, obviously we've still got further to go with the pandemic
Yeah,
before we can do some of this. And you know, I mean, last week we basically canceled the questions because we had only 2 people present, and that was, and because I was having a little bit of internet problem myself, I was missing for a few minutes too. But just some things to think about. It's not.
Well, we'll revisit in the new year and
Yeah,
ask around and talk to people and get feedback and see if there is an appetite, what it is, if it could be in person or when and how often. So yeah, that's something to think about.
and even the possibility maybe of like Ernie and Betty Ann, you were together.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tend to like doing things on Zoom. We're not actually in the stage where we're comfortable being indoors. Things that
Yeah.
are outdoors are great,
Yeah.
but we're still a bit worried about.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree completely on that point.
Yeah.
But
So
on the other hand,
but we're very flexible in terms of
Time.
times and dates. If that was the question,
yeah,
earlier in the day would be fine for me. And
Yeah.
probably Ernie, you can speak for yourself. Sometimes he's got other things.
I guess the other question that I would be interested to hear is, I mean, are the questions basically appropriate questions to ask, or are they too
I think
hard?
they're great.
Or,
Yeah, I thought they were
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm going to have to go back through. I was putting down, names like Shirley Wild was, counselors. I don't know the history of the counselors. I know that she was around way back then. And
she's
then I
our
was
next
trying
door
to think
neighbor.
of Daisy and John Bly. I knew them, but I was thinking, oh, who used to run the store? Was it the Whitties? I don't know. I don't remember. So
I
it's
would
have
it's
thought
it was-
interesting to think back through some of these things. So I think your questions are great, very
Yeah.
entertaining and
Yeah.
interesting.
I had to get that one confirmed by Ray and Eleanor Creaser. that,
Oh, yeah. Eleanor
but,
would know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping Eleanor would be here tonight as well, but
Well, your questions make me realize how much I depend on the internet I don't try to remember anything. I look it up all the time. So Brian, I'm just with you, man. We're just far too much on the internet. So, you know, I'll say, well, who's the premier of Alberta? I'll just look it up, right? Make no effort to remember anything, you know.
Oh,
You're not allowed to
his-
look it up.
Exactly. So now that I know that what this quiz is about, I'm going to have to reorient the entire way I interact with the world.
Yeah.
Well, it is a private game. Yeah.
Gotta come out of the cocoon, Ernie.
Well, it's
and
really
he's
great
still,
to see
his
everybody.
picture, his
Yeah, it's
picture's
good.
still not, we're not actually seeing the live Ernie right now.
Oh, I know,
Oh,
I
well,
know.
I have,
He
there's no lights on in this room.
millimeter. He hasn't moved a millimeter since we signed on. Oh, there he is.
The lights behind me. I'm going to have to go like this.
Yes, turn around. There you go. Now
There
we
he
can see.
Oh,
Oh, you see the short hair? Yeah, Betty Ann cut
Yes.
my hair today. So I'm feeling quite weak.
Good job, Betty Ann.
You did a very good job, Betty Ann.
It's much
Yeah.
shorter than usual. I got a bit carried away.
So back to my there.
Well, if anybody, unless there's any more comments, I think we'll end the recording for the night.
Well,
But
we
I
have
do-
to say, we have to say thank you very, very much to Andrew.
Exactly.
because
Oh,
that
Yes.
was-
really?
Good job.
That's
lot
how
of
I
work.
was going to end. Andrew, you put so much work into this and thought, and it's just so appreciated. You did such an amazing job.
well, I hope we can continue, but
Yeah, it's fun.
It's really nice to have a social occasion with Machosanites. You know, it's unexpected, but really very, very good.
And thanks for the people on here like Jane, who's been our biggest promoter, and Dale, you've been out helping to get the word out, and Brian. So I really appreciate your efforts to, try and get it traction. Yeah,
Have patience, Lori.
that's what Jane keeps saying. Andrew, hear that? We're supposed to just have patience.
yeah.
Person,
Thank
keep
you,
going
Lori, for,
forward.
just say thank you, Lori, for all you've put in.
Exactly. Good.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, it's yeah, no, my pleasure. Well, I think with that, we'll sign off then.
All right, good to see everyone.
Bye,
to see-
everyone. Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays.
Bye, everyone.
Happy holidays.
New Year's.
Stay safe
Bye.
and well. Good night.